Welcome to the What I Wish I Knew After Pregnancy Loss podcast. I am your host, Shana Southern. I am an angel mum, a rainbow mum, a pregnancy loss practitioner, and trauma-informed coach. I created the Institute of Healing Through Pregnancy Loss out of my own experience with loss in the hopes to provide understanding and healing, educating people on pregnancy loss, and creating more women or men in trained support roles. In this podcast, I hope to shed light on what I wish I knew in relation to pregnancy loss, opening up the conversation, breaking the stigma, and bringing real-life stories plus guest experts. Thank you for being here with me today, and let's dive into today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Shana with you. I want to talk today about anger because anger can be so consuming after loss. And it's something that I hear a lot of women talk about is anger. Anger towards themselves, anger towards those around them, but also the feeling of anger that it doesn't feel like them. They're like, it's almost like this anger is consuming. It just takes over and it doesn't feel like me. This is not who I am. So I want to just talk about anger because anger is often the emotion that we see. It's the emotion that our brain is naturally sort of wired towards bringing up. It's an easily accessible emotion from our brain. But anger is also, there's a lot more to it. Anger is a repelling emotion, which means that when you become angry, you want to push things away. So it's going to push people away. It's going to push circumstances away from you because you need space. And when you're angry, it almost feels like you don't have space. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Anger isn't a bad thing. When it becomes like a recurrent emotion and pattern, that's when it can become a bad thing because it can mean that there's definitely unresolved issues under there, unresolved wounds, unresolved even depression that can come through as anger. Anger also is like an iceberg. So it's what we see. Anger is the tip of the iceberg, but when you can call to your mind an image of the iceberg, there's a hell of a lot of the iceberg under the water that we don't see. And more often than not, there is an array of emotions, of feelings, of sensations that come on the bottom of that iceberg. And all of those emotions tend to present as anger, as one emotion. And, it could be guilt, humiliation, bitterness, aggression, rage, frustration, that you feel let down, even sadness. There are so many different emotions that can present itself as anger. Anger is, like I said, it's a very accessible emotion for your brain. Although it is a not very tolerated emotion by society. People don't like to see aggression. So it's often shut down. And especially as a woman, you're not allowed to be angry. But when you're navigating pregnancy loss, the trying to conceive journey or infertility journey, anger is, it's just something that comes. It seems to be just an emotion that comes along with it, and it can become very overwhelming. But there's something to learn from our anger. Anger is as well possibly that we haven't set strong boundaries for ourselves. So anger tells us, what we value. And when either yourself or others have been wronged, it helps you protect and restore what is important to you. So if you think about anger in that light, that, it is what you value and potentially something has been wronged or a boundary has been crossed. It's not necessarily then a bad thing. It's something that we can use to support ourselves and understand our anger further and move forward with a stronger sense of self. So, there's some questions that you can possibly ask yourself when you do have anger present. And I invite you to also look at what other emotions are there. You can ask yourself, what else is here? I'm angry. What else is here? You can ask yourself, what must be restored or what must be protected? There is definitely something that we can take from our anger and also give ourselves permission to be angry because, in a way we have been wronged by our body. That's what it feels like anyway. But, how can you shift your perception on anger? What else is there underneath that? What boundaries must you put in place for yourself? What do you value and what boundaries can be put in place so that other people aren't stepping over those boundaries? So understanding, if you can picture the iceberg, that there is more to anger than just the anger. Understanding that for yourself is going to be a powerful way for you to start to, implement things that you need to implement, have an awareness of yourself, a deeper awareness of your emotions, understand, and give yourself permission that you can be angry. It's not a bad thing. Don't try to push it aside. Don't try to suppress it because that vibration of anger is a very, very powerful vibration. And you don't want to be pushing any of these really strong vibrations back inside of you because they don't go away. I hope this episode was valuable to you. If it was, I encourage you to leave a review on Apple Podcasts so that I can reach even more women with these tools and awareness. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to supporting you on the next episode. 1 in 4 pregnancies will result in miscarriage. 1 in 8 women will experience infertility. 1 in 100 women will experience recurrent miscarriage. And 1 in 160 births end in stillbirth. Have you been wanting to make a difference in the lives of women or men who have experienced pregnancy loss because you can see so many suffering in silence, but you just don't know how? Collectively, we can change how bereaved parents can access mental, physical, and emotional support after their experience. There is a lot of women with unhealed trauma, and there is a huge gap in the current support system when it comes to bereaved parents' recovery after loss. There are too many women and men suffering in silence. The Pregnancy Loss Practitioner Certification is a worldwide, one-of-a-kind program that gives you proven methods designed for healthcare professionals, medical staff, midwives, nurses, doulas, birth workers, coaches, and angel parents alike. The Pregnancy Loss Practitioner Certification is bridging that gap. It will give you a proven support structure to follow and education specific to pregnancy loss, created by a loss mum. It is creating more education specifically for loss so that you can enhance your service and become the point of difference. Or you can create the support that you so desperately needed in your healing after loss. This is the next level of growth and expansion you have been searching for. So does this sound like something that you have been searching for? Let's explore this more together. You can head to the episode show notes where you'll find the program application, or direct message me on Instagram and let's open up the conversation in how you can use this education. You have a gift, and I look forward to supporting you and witnessing you bring your gift to the world, healing and transforming women's lives. Thank you for listening in with me today. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you did, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Take a screenshot of this episode, share it to social media, and tag me at Institute of Healing _PL. I love seeing what is resonating with you right now. If you want to chat further, I invite you to connect with me through Instagram. Head over and follow my Instagram account, send me a DM, and let's open the communication. If you want to know more about how you can be the support for others, head to the show notes and fill out the application form for the Pregnancy Loss Practitioner certification. I want to also note here that what I share within the episodes is not medical advice. If you need further support, please consult your doctor. Thank you again. Much love to you. Be gentle with yourself, and I look forward to supporting you on the next episode.